Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
You know, his authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name? What is your name?
Alright guys, today's court hearing is absolutely wild. We've got Matthew Aldridge here, or at least that's what the papers say, but the guy at the podium here is pulling the whole I don't have a name act. He's calling himself the attorney of fact, which isn't even a real thing in law, by the way. These sovereign citizen types always try to argue that the court doesn't have any power over them, but here's the deal: courts have jurisdiction over anyone in their area, period. The judge isn't buying it for 1 second and shuts him down in the most epic way at the end here. He really outsmarts this guy here. Let's go ahead and get into it.
My name?
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
Name, I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent in the area.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
No, I do not this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't the court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me.
Have a copy of it.
Oh, apparently there's a copy here.
I mean, it's one thing here, the guy is claiming to be an attorney of fact, and to back it up he literally just handed the judge some paper, and I know you guys didn't get to see it because it was kind of a slow part here, but the paper basically quoted a made-up law that supposedly gives him the right to represent the person Matthew Aldridge, and for those wondering, real attorneys have to be licensed by the state and follow actual legal procedures. None of this DIY kind of one single piece of paper. Legal fantasy stuff here. You know, sovereign citizens like this guy love to argue about jurisdiction as if declaring themselves above the law actually works, and spoiler, it doesn't. The courts rely on well-established laws, not imaginary ones, and the judge here is not here to entertain this nonsense. Honestly, is this whole sovereign citizen thing becoming more popular, or am I just unlucky enough to keep stumbling across these bizarre cases? Let me know in the comments.
All right. Well, I find that Matthew Neal Aldridge has failed to appear personally in this court for the plea day on his case, which is set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neal Aldridge. If you are in fact Matthew Neal Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee, and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Is that an Article 3 trial?
To what?
Will that be an Article 3 trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury. Certainly it would be. But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you're wasting valuable time to all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately, it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right. To Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name must not be uttered.
This judge here is handling this lunatic like an absolute pro. I mean, he's staying calm while shutting him down at every turn here. This guy barely even got a chance to push his attorney of F nonsense before the judge dismantled it piece by piece here. It seems like the judge kind of took this personally, or that he just has this case this stuff kind of happened a lot, but especially when the guy started quoting his made-up laws, and I just think it's really funny the judge went in there and said he can't utter his name. That was kind of funny there. Usually you see judges kind of be more stoic and don't show expression, so that was kind of funny to me, but it was clear from the start that this judge was not going to waste any of his time on this circus guy here. But at the end of the day, guys, it just goes to show how ridiculous and pointless these stunts really are.
Then we will set a July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are in fact Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th. That's the judgment of the court. You need to take your piece of paper and go on about your business.
Sovereign citizens are truly something else. These are people who believe they can opt out of the legal system by claiming they don't recognize the government's authority. I mean, they'll spout off about things like common law or the UCC, which is the Uniform Commercial Code, completely misunderstanding how these laws actually work. And just to be clear, the courts operate under federal, state, and local laws. I don't know if they know that or not, but laws that have been in place for centuries and are backed by the Constitution. There's no loophole where you could just decide the rules don't apply to you, yet these folks will clog up courtrooms with bizarre arguments, wasting everyone's time and just achieving absolutely nothing but a criminal record in the process. I mean, legally speaking though, the whole sovereign citizen defense falls apart because of something called jurisdiction. Courts have jurisdiction over anyone within their geographic area, no matter what legal nonsense you claim. That stuff might sound clever in the echo chambers, but judges have seen it all and they definitely don't entertain it for a second. And for anybody wondering, trying to avoid taxes or dismiss a speeding ticket with these tax, it doesn't just fail, it can actually result in heavier penalties for wasting the court's time. Personally, I don't get why these people keep trying this. I mean, do they think they're actually out ing the system, or is it just a weird sense of rebellion? I mean, either way though, it's ridiculous, and honestly it's kind of sad they're not even really fighting the system, they're just making fools of themselves. Anyways guys, that's going to wrap up my breakdown for today. If you guys enjoy, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about sovereign citizens in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching and take care.